Alright, yeah, let's check out this video. I'm gonna pull it up.
Should we talk about zones?
Aye, go for it.
Now, I know you might be thinking, oh, what a boring segment. You want to talk about zones. I'm not really going to talk about zones. Just a few things that have set in now that we've went through a few interviews and it's like settled in.
Yeah, the Dragon Isle is going to have 5 zones. One of the 5 will be the starting zone for the new dragon, that dragon race. What are they called? The Drakthir, I think. That's going to be their starting zone, and then the other 4 will be our leveling zone.
Said that this is one of the largest contents they've ever delivered.
That's interesting to me.
Yeah, because I think about Northrend and Outland and their zone count.
Yeah.
And I remember...
I mean, Kaldor. Eastern Kingdom's like...
Actually, flip off my screen, and I'm going to see if I can find a video. Zone size, wow. Because I remember a long time ago, right? I had this.
Somebody made a video about this. I was looking, trying to find out what the largest zone in the game was.
You extract the mini maps and stuff, and then you come up with like a pixel is this many yards, because you measure it in game. This would probably take ages to find. But anyway, the point is, their claim is something that very much could be validated with objective means.
Yeah, but then, obviously, you know, maybe...
Original Barons was wild. Yes, Original Barons was. It was massive, and it felt massive. And that's the feeling I want again, right? I want to be in a zone and feel tiny. I do. I want to be in a zone and feel tiny. And we looked at the zones when we were talking about this. I do think the largest zone currently in-game, if I had to guess, this is just a flat-out guess, I feel like it's Storm Peaks. I think Storm Peaks is the largest zone in the game right now. Storm Peaks was really big. You could fly. It was like made for flying, really, Storm Peaks. Besides that, I mean, Barrens I know is huge. I mean, you got, it depends. It includes southern and northern Barrens. Yeah, okay, then it's massive. That could be the largest if you include both. But supposedly one of these new zones is the biggest zone they've ever added, so it's going to dwarf all of these other zones. We'll see. We'll see. Running across Dunmorrow is a test of patience. Yeah. Broken Shore. Nah, ZM is bigger than Broken Shore. Yeah, no, I don't think Broken Shore is. I mean, I'm just looking at the map, mind you. This is not like completely accurate, but where would Broken Shore, the Broken Isles here? Broken Shore looks tiny as hell compared to like even the High Mountain is pretty big. High Mountain is probably the biggest zone here.
Maybe they're talking about experientially the biggest. Maybe the exploration of them is so much bigger and more important. Because obviously Desolus was just an empty hole, so what's the point? That was just, you know, you can just...
I don't know why I thought that.
Put nothing in it.
Fucking, I found the video, man. Oh, I remember this.
I remember watching you actually work on this.
See this intro? This intro was based off the intro to the Steve Colbert Show.
Yeah.
I like to say Colbert because it probably rustled people. By the way, I don't watch any American talk shows. I just like the tilt shift effect, and the Colbert Show had a pretty cool little tilt shift effect. Oh my god, this is in my days of being a weird green screen corner boy.
Yeah.
Who knows? I mean, I'm a corner boy right now. Hey, look, this is like one of those, just that, you know, it's,
there we go.
It's like I'm Asmongold, and there I'm reacting to myself, and there we go. We've done the meta.
Bellular reacting to Bellular.
Get a comparison of the two.
Oh, indeed. Oh, man, it was so fun. I had a whole workflow where...
Whoa. Mag. Whoa, thank you, Mag, with the 5 gifted subs. Mag, thank you. Thanks. You never have to do that, just so you know. Lil Mister, Home Skillet, Laboho, and Entwine, and Hots for sale. Thank you for the subs. Thank you for the subs, Mag. All of you guys are now Death Knights of our Scourge. Thank you so much for that, Mag. Not necessary, I promise.
And always use another Death Knight.
Do you remember the Star Wars Battlefront games? And their whole, the map loading screen of like it's in the planet and then it zooms in.
Yeah.
I basically had to
always use another Death Knight.
Sounds like a group of hookers. So true.
Way where I could pull the camera from a globe that I made in After Effects of Azeroth through the clouds in here and then into a zone.
Yeah.
And I never fucking did anything with it. And the computer that I did that on, where the files are, currently has a dead stick of RAM. So, yes, my explanation of pixels.
Man, I remember these old Bellular videos.
Zoom on ahead. Yeah, because I forgot what it was. I think there was like some talk of this, and then I hopped in, and there was a few videos I did like this, like one of the size of Azeroth, and it was just really cool. There was a bunch of people in the community that were really just interested in doing this. So
This is interesting, man. I never watched this video. Maybe I did, but it's been so long. When did it come out? When does it say down here? February 4th, 2018. Damn, that was a while ago. Wow, I was in law school. I probably did watch this, like, to avoid studying at some point. Or the true size revealed.
Man, I really could have just put a graph in this to help myself, couldn't I?
Yeah. Well, you weren't thinking about 4 years later.
Yeah. Yeah, doing a 4 years later React bit of content.
Did you know Legion was almost 6 years ago?
That's
Matt,
crazy.
I feel very ancient.
That's
Cataclysm
crazy.
was what, 14 years ago? No, not 14. 12.
So
Yeah, it's hard to make people feel old.
we've got total size of WAD 15 million, MOP 11 million.
WoW is bigger than MOP. Oh my god.
Wow, what the hell? WAD is bigger than MOP? I would have never guessed that WAD is bigger than MOP.
Legion, about the same size as MOP.
Doesn't include Argus, though, does it?
Wrath of the Lich King, he's going to get to it. Wrath of the Lich King was the biggest, so the Northrend is the biggest continent added to the game, which makes sense to me. That's what I figured. Sam, can I please have assist? Yes, you can.
It does, yeah,
It does,
Nice.
including Argus. Wrath. Man, Wrath was big.
Chunky, yeah.
Yeah.
Look at that, 17 million pixels.
I think it has the
That's
most.
crazy.
I think it has the largest.
Yeah, I'm thinking of a graph. Maybe
zone.
it was another video with the same methodology, but this is going over the OP from MMO Champion. TBC 17 million. So that's what's really interesting, right? We see
Well, maybe at the start of WAD. What do you mean, the starting zone of WAD?
these two humongous continents.
Maybe.
Of course, this is a time where there's so much less detail in the zones, so building a larger zone was like way more doable.
Yeah, it was easier for sure.
Yeah, so this took it through to WAD. So where we'd settled on was like 11 and a bit, and 15.5 million for WAD. Did I then do after? What was Kulturas? So Kulturas, right, Zandalar was 7.25 million,
Ooh,
and
okay.
Kulturas was 6.8 million.
So about just over 15 mil then, right?
Yeah, so actually, it was a big
Oh,
expansion, dude.
Oh yeah,
And
the
then
two islands
Magikarp
combined.
and Mechagon weren't out then?
They made a lot of stuff, didn't they? That's kind of impressive. Interesting.
I mean,
So,
I imagine Shadowlands is fairly big in terms of... There is a thing where
Yeah.
obviously size is
The brokenness of Shadowlands.
but, you know, like, the density of those zones is a lot heavier. So
Yeah.
Shadowlands is a lot more dense than, I think, other zones. But they are still pretty big zones. And then obviously Korthia is very big, but a little bit kind of sparse. The Maw is massive, relatively sparse. But they're not actually, like, that... they're not that sparse.
yeah.
They're actually, like, there is a whole ton of content. It just doesn't really feel like that because you spend your time nuking it at launch and then never
Yeah.
going back.
Yeah.
Or doing world quests instead.
So
But
it's-
there is a lot of stuff. Like,
Yeah, and it's just funny because whenever I think of some of my fonder memories of those older expansions, it kind of is those like nice big wide open expanses. Which you could say, oh, that's just a way to pad out how technically big the zone is, but not put anything in it. But then you think of something like Breath of the Wild that people love, and the almost negative space in that design is so crucial to the game feeling good. And that's something that I
Yeah.
became a little bit frustrated with.
I have
in
Breath of the
some
Wild,
bits
haven't played
of
it.
WoW.
Believe it or
So-
not, I have it, but I haven't played it. I know. A lot of people get mad at me when I say that. I want to play it. I just haven't yet.
Whenever I heard the developers consistently say, like, these zones are big. This zone is so big that, like, not only do they just, increase the view distance just for the sheer hell of it,
Yeah.
they seem to be doing that so that whenever you turn a corner, the, like, vista that you see, the camera's actually big enough to show you that vista. And I think that just...
I will say, this is probably true. You know what Blizzard probably did? They probably played some New World. Because New World was really good at this. In New World, when you're playing the game and you go through a zone, you feel like you can see for miles. Like you feel like the distant mountains, you can see them, and the entire space between the mountains and you is like walkable space. Like you can go through and explore that space. And every time you turn a corner, I mean, New World literally has a moment in the beginning of the game where you go through the cave you're questing, and then you come out the other end, and then you see the entire expanse of land in front of you, and then like it flashes, New World at the top. Like that's how the game starts when you first make a tune. Like about 5 minutes into the gameplay, 10 minutes in, you see that moment. And I think a lot of people love that. I liked it a lot. So it'd be very cool to see that in World of Warcraft, where you just see expanses of land that you can explore in front of you.
Just clues you into the scale of compositions that they're trying to create with these zones.
For sure.
That's something
I have it, but I've watched my twin play, and now
that was exciting to me, especially when we
I need to
something
play
from
it
the
though.
interview section, which, to tease you, they maybe will have a lot more world content this time around.
Yep.
And they really should have told us that in the announcement, because it would have got people quite excited.
Yeah, which is interesting because they actually have a lot of.
I love the
content.
looks
It
of the
just doesn't feel
new
like content
places.
because it's like
it's very
The world is
Azerothian.
populated with secrets and stuff, not really content that you can go. I'm going to have some content that feels like meaningful stuff. It's like, it's kind of gameplay abstractions in a way, where especially when people engage with it via handy notes, it's like chore picking off, as opposed to feeling like content. Which is like, if there was like a bit of story framing or quest framing for it, it'd be so much better. So much better.
There's a few things like, I see my girlfriend playing Guild Wars 2 in the new expansion, or even any of the high-end maps in the previous
I had no idea about I had a
and Living
girlfriend.
World seasons for Guild Wars 2. They have basically massive map events. So you do all of the events that spawn into the map, and when people have done those, then like a mini-boss or a boss or something will spawn. They have this amount of interactivity between the different events, which takes them on a level from the events in base 2012 Guild Wars 2 that were, yes, a little bit more static. So I would really like to see them push that forward, because then it's not handy notes collection content. Then it's you're out in the world doing shit. Like, if people got into a flow state with fucking gulp frog farms, surely there is something to be said for non-world non-world quest-based stuff. For the zones, I like the look of them, pretty much all of them so far. I'll say that much. I look at these and I think, cool, are they going to put a thing up there that I'll need to be good at dragon riding
Ostensibly,
to get? In which case, that's actually quite cool.
Yeah.
That's quite fun.
I think that's part of why the land is
settle.
going to be so big, is the dragon riding, the accessibility, like the way we're going to travel through the land and explore the land. It has to be big. If it's built for flying, it has to be big. And remember, like I showed you guys, Storm Peaks, right? Is the continent that I think was the biggest before. What was Storm Peaks built for? It was built for flying. That's why it's so big. So this makes sense to me that this expansion is going to have some really big lands in it. What the hell? Why is it
Dragon
muted?
City.
Yeah.
The cool thing about here's the
Bill said almost literally that,
here's the big Dragon City.
Yeah.
That's one thing that we didn't hear a lot about. Our hub city, our new hub city. Did they talk about it? Because maybe I missed that. Is this the entrance to the new hub city? Are we going to have a cool dragon city to go to? Because that'd be very cool. And this looks amazing. Oh, shit, this looks cool. Still never got the timeless mount from Storm Peaks. Yeah, neither did I.
Cool thing about the Dragon City is that it is in the tallest zone in the game. Now, I remember at the very start, you could have the Emerald Winds.
Oh,
You
yeah.
could have the toy that would boop you up in the
Brolfist,
air.
yep.
The Brolfist, yeah, in Legion. And you could use all of these, because you could use the Brolfist while Emerald Winds, or maybe it was just Emerald Winds would keep you going up. I forget what it was, but you could combine them all.
What it was you opened with a Brolf, you like jumped and Brolfisted, you got a real high opening point, then you you hit the glider, the rock feather skyhorn kite, then the Emerald Winds, and you could make it basically from the entire way from the peak of High Mountain to the, like, I guess in and around the rep turn-in or the rep fender in Azuna, if not further. And then they were like, fun police have entered, deleted, which is very unfortunate, but that stuff was so cool. That stuff was so much fun.
I'm so sad I cannot find. I did a little video on it.
Aviana's Feather from WoD, because WoD had the kind of the same thing
It
going
did?
for it as well. Yeah, that was great. That was great.
Sad,
Welcome,
I can't
JC.
find the video. is a great example of that was really cool. And if you did that at the top of, it's like the middle of the broken.
Use the Discord.
shore,
That's
the
interesting.
Broken Isles, where it's
Interesting
like super
tip,
high
Prong.
up.
High mountain?
You could just like go from high mountain like way across the map.
Yeah, that's what I said.
Yeah, I did that on a glider.
I was in Google mode
Yeah.
trying to find that. I'm
Yeah.
stupid.
Yeah,
Sorry, Matt.
it was one of the biggest, as just some dude said, it was one of the biggest fun detected moments in WoW's history for sure.
Totally.
Just people are having fun traversing. We'll
High
turn that
Mountain was a
off,
huge zone.
and then we'll call it a feature into the expansions time.
See, now they've turned it into fun designed.
Yeah, for sure.
Just the idea of, I mean, a good example, right? One of our guys, Nicky, big man for the battlefield,
Yeah.
and I can't confirm this, but even based on the Star Citizen videos I've seen of people doing like trick shot flying, they literally get
Yeah, it is huge.
2 joysticks and do all this crazy shit. But you could see those Battlefield videos or Ace Combat trick flying videos where people have somehow managed to reverse a plane under a bridge.
Yep.
And you're just like, how the fuck have they done this? Or go super fast and then flip and then go backwards through a train tunnel.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's all
yeah, I've
You
seen
can
those
do that in
videos.
a dragon now.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe, but the fantasy of it could be so cool, and I just love that with the zone design. Think about this from a zone designer's perspective. How many cool things can they do to give you just these feelings of mastery? So you got this zone, it's got just some like big open plains
Beautiful
feel.
zone.
Yeah.
I absolutely fucking love that. There's this one, the Azure Span. I think it's best designed as Pan Northrend.
It does give you
little bit.
Northrend-esque
It's
vibes.
almost
it does.
like a Northrend greatest hits. It's funny, I saw somebody said, actually, it's a bit more like High Mountain and Howling Fjord. And I just sort of thought to myself, aw, buddy, you know where those came from? So this is a zone that I'm very happy about.
For sure.
Tuskar, some of my favorite in the game, and here they are. By
Are
the
they
way,
going?
as long as they remain-
Are they going to make Tuskar playable? We know people have been asking for it. Specifically, Taliesin has been dying for playable Tuskar, and these Tuskar look even more fleshed out than our regular Tuskar that we've seen in game already. These Tuskar look like they've had work done to them. I feel like they're preparing us for like a mid-expansion playable race. Hey guys, patch 10.2, the Tuskar are now playable. I feel like the Tuskar are going to be an allied race. Yes, I agree. Well played. I do. Maybe be like an end of Dragonflight thing. Yeah, maybe. End or mid Dragonflight race added. I do think the Tuskar are going to become a playable race eventually. It's crazy how many people are fiending for it. Tuskar plastic surgery, Sam confirmed. Yeah, the Tuskar have gone under. They got some Botox fillers. They got some fake tusks. Yes, I do think the Tuskar look better fleshed out here. And I feel like Blizzard wouldn't have put the time into that. I mean, look at this guy. He's got a riding animation. Look at the gear, how it's fitting these guys. I feel like all this work going into these Tuskar, I think they're going to be playable at some point.
And as comfy as before.
It's great. I did this, and the tweet just went viral, got like 3,500 likes.
Nice.
People really want the otter mount. I really want the otter mount.
Oh, the
It's
otter
nice.
mount too. Yeah, look
So,
at that.
Yeah, and it's funny because this
That's
just
another
looks like
one.
high-res.
That's another one. Their racial mount would literally be the otter mount. Like it's already all set up. If the otter was a racial mount, God, yes, exactly, Prong. Yep, that's how I see it. That's how I see it being.
Northrend, and I'm completely happy with that.
Yeah, that's the thing, especially like if they can get obviously it's hard to say because
no pre-skewing today.
there's a very specific
Let us
flavor
lay
to like the music and
waste
stuff.
to this
But honestly, if
realm.
they can get very much the same quality
Deft Sue,
quality,
thank you for the
but
follow and
over in
welcome
that
to our
flavor.
Scourge.
that felt Northrend,
Sure
especially if
thing.
they have more world content
Welcome.
and they have dragon riding, so you can kind of have a lot more fun getting around.
You'd be a
then I
Tuskar
think-
shaman 100%. So what would the Tuskar shaman totems be? That's the question, right? If you have a shaman Tuskar, what would their totems be? I mean, I'm guessing they'd be some kind of like wood or mud looking, maybe some mud looking totems, right? Because, I don't know what a walrus would do, but I imagine them looking like, because the totems for the Tauren are already wood. I can imagine like some mud or dirt looking totems for the Tuskar shaman. Frozen fish, maybe. Yeah, frozen fish totems. That's Tortolan would make a great playable race, paladin and warrior. Oh my god, yeah. Tortolan and Tuskar, they fit side by side. This is true. Shit, I want a fat 248. I know, I want a priest too. I'd say fish. Okay, fish totems it is. It looks like we're going with that as
we're in for
as the contestants. Tuskar will come in and their shaman form will have fish totems.
It's very, very different than what we've had for the past couple expansions.
Yeah.
Which is a game that is ostensibly no fun allowed in the video game. Outside
No
of very
fun allowed
specific
in the video
parameters and very specific end-game design. Yeah, this shit's just like, yeah, fuck it, this game's now fun to just literally play in.
Felt a bit Algalon sometimes.
Very much, yeah.
The player's gameplay experience has fallen outside of directed parameters, design parameters, destroy.
Yeah, wipe the slate clean.
Which I can understand some of the like, oh, this is not how we intend these mechanics, but
yeah,
maybe the signal of that is, oh, you feel like your toys are being abused and players can fly when they shouldn't. Yeah. That's a signal to make Dragonflight.
For sure.
Or dragon riding, even.
For sure.
Mm-hmm.
It's a bit, the whole Dragonflight, dragon riding kind of cross-name confusion.
Yeah.
Anyway, so that's the zone stuff.
Awesome. I mean, I'm excited. Everything, I have not seen anything Dragonflight related that is maybe go, oh man, or oh shit, why'd they do that? What was the decision behind that? What were they thinking? So far, everything consensusly makes sense to me. It all looks like they're pushing this expansion in a direction that the players have been pushing for a while now. We're going to get some fun new mechanics with dragon riding, the dungeons, the way they're going to do Mythic Plus, all of it looks great. The land itself looks amazing. It's a back to Azeroth looking land and expansion. We're going to get a further view distance with big continents, a big continent to play on. Looks like that's going to be amazing. The aesthetics look great. The lore looks great. I'm really, really, honest to God, excited about this expansion. I feel like I have a good feeling. I have a good feeling about it. We're not getting any gimmicky shit. Borrowed power is out the door. They didn't show us anything like the Isles or the Isles from BFA or Torghast. I don't feel like they're putting anything in there to just try to a grindy system to try to waste our time. This looks like it's just going to be a fun-ass expansion. What's up, Blue Elephant? Good morning. The talent tree. Yes, the talent tree is our new borrowed power. Well, the talent tree is going to make sure there is no more borrowed power, Pronk. They even said that some of the abilities we've gotten from legendaries and our Shadowlands abilities from our covenants, those are going to be in the talent tree. And we're going to get to use those. Well, it's going to stay, right? Yeah, exactly. The talent tree is going to stay. The talent tree is going to stay. And they said the way that they built the talent tree, it won't feel bloated until another 4 expansions down the line. And then he said, we'll deal with that when that time comes. And he goes, but we're not going to build this. We're not going to build these expansions worrying about 4 expansions from now. Welcome, Blue Elephant. What they're doing now is setting us up to have no more borrowed power, to get as many abilities as we can, and to not feel like we're losing anything every time an expansion goes away. So I'm very excited for it. It feels like they're heading in the right direction. It feels like they listen to the players, and it's going to come through in a great expansion. That's what it looks like.